We're just about to leave Pentwater. We're all packed up, ready to go. Last minute things to put together here, but I always think that I can we always have to get warmed up before we go, get some stretches in. That's really important, and we can make sure our legs are nice and limber. You ready to go today?
Yes and no. It's sad to leave Pentwater.
I know, it's one of our favorite places, isn't it?
It is. My thighs have been sore, but the rest day I think helped.
Yeah, definitely. I would have never thought to put a rest day in there, but Kathleen did. Into the plans. That was a good thing, actually, that she did that. Today is going to be all roads into Baldwin. Hopefully we'll be able to find a halfway point to eat some lunch. Probably on the road someplace.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll be an adventure.
Another adventure. Every so often we try to get through a roadblock sign because lots of times there's nothing going on. But this time, a couple miles into this road closed, we have construction on top of the highway. We have to go all the way back into the city where we started from. That detour was, I guess, really 4 miles out of our way. 2 miles there, 2 miles back. A little delayed, that's to be expected. We're on some backcountry roads now. Hopefully they're all as good as this one here. Passing some orchards, some cherry trees. Just went up a nice big hill. Had our little break. We try to take a 10-15 minute break every 10 miles. Seems to help break it up a little bit. Well, we're about halfway. Gonna stop for lunch. Going these back roads, we're not sure sometimes what you might find, but we found this little township hall. No picnic tables, but Eden Township Hall. We're gonna try to see if we can find a place to eat here in a second. You usually have to wait. There's not a lot of hills on this road. But she's a trooper.
Cruising right along, and then we hit a dirt road. I think we have 3 more miles until we turn, so hopefully when we turn we've got a good road. Dirt is so loose and soft, we decided we could walk faster than we were riding in it. Our road bikes just can't handle the soft dirt.
We made it to our next destination, Ivan's Campground and Cabins in Baldwin, Michigan. Here's our campsite. We'll set up someplace in this area for the night. It's not supposed to rain or anything. I guess there's a big group, they told us, that are coming in tomorrow night. Several sites. Looks like a few nice trees. So if it's really sunny, we'll be able to be nice and cool. We're in the town of Baldwin going to dinner someplace. I guess this is the famous fish sculpture. Well, here we are for dinner. We traveled 4 miles, well really total 8 miles out of the way to go to this place that the locals recommended. We'll have to go back on that road that Kathleen loves. A couple more nights, right?
Tomorrow night's our last night, and we'll be home Saturday, God willing, of course.
It wasn't too bad today, except for there was a few hills.
Yes. You know, 1.5 miles, 2 miles does not seem very far at all until it's all hills, and especially if it's uphill.
Yeah. And what did we see today, though? I mean, we seen a lot of God's creation and a lot of rural areas.
Yeah, we went by a lot of orchards. That was fun. And cornfields. We saw a few goats, rolling hills, which is normally beautiful to see unless you're on a bike traveling up those hills. And then we had a detour, which took us
a little out of the way,
yeah.
About 4 miles, I think. So that's kind of our talk today, is having detour, right?
Yeah, detours in your marriage where you have something didn't go right and you need to make another decision, or just decisions in general, really. In a marriage, a lot of times we need to make decisions, and especially if something doesn't go as planned and we need to recalculate. So how do you do that? Mark and I will go to the Lord for guidance, and then hear each other out.
Most of the time I hear
Most of the
you.
time.
I'm not a very good listener.
Sometimes we're not too good at that, but we try to hear each other out. What route or which way each of us want to go, and the reason why.
Sometimes there's a couple different ways,
Sure.
and you can go this way or that way, and you're getting to the same destination.
Mm-hmm.
One way may not be the best way, right?
Right. Like our second day, we made a decision to go a different route, and we both realized pretty quick that wasn't the right decision. We were beat that day.
But I think what's important in marriage is that even though, let's say if I made that decision and you went with it, you should not, as a spouse, you shouldn't go back and say, I told you so.
Yeah, it's important to support each other, whether you make a good decision or a poor decision, because we always make poor decisions. So when we make a poor decision, we are interested in our spouse supporting us either way, and so we can give them the grace and support our spouse when he or she makes a poor decision as well. So decision making, so we ask for the Lord's guidance and then hear each other out, and then kind of come to a decision based on what we each have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like tomorrow we're going to have to decide. The rail trail is limestone, and we know that our road tires, particularly my tires, are way too thin to make that route, and it's 19 miles. So we need to decide, are we going to go on a busy highway for 19 miles, or are we going to go several miles out of the way and zigzag through some country back roads?
And sometimes it's, like for myself, who, as you heard probably in a previous video, that I'm more of a risk taker, and Kathleen's cautious Kathy behind the wheel. And so for me, it would be no big deal to go the little bit more of a busy highway, because it's going to be more of a straight shot. But for Kathleen,
I'm a little more comfortable, particularly if the highway has a narrow shoulder and people are whizzing by, and sometimes they on busier highways they don't merge around you, and I'm not totally comfortable with that.
Yeah. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't need to go the busy highway. I'm fine going 10 miles out of the way in order for you to be.
So it's not a high priority.
No,
it's not number 10 for
no,
you.
it's
So,
not a high priority.
so he's more willing to, since it's not high in the importance to him, he's willing to allow me to be more comfortable and take my route. So we'll see. I have a decision to make then.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good night.